Are you nervous?
What?
It's a press conference. The last time you attended one with Nanto, it ended less than pleasantly, shall we say.
Calling it less than pleasant is a bit mild, don't you think? It was clearly arranged by Nanto on Rafa's orders, but people assume it's my mistake. But this time, I'm not letting anyone pull my strings.
It sounds like you've prepared a splendid speech. You will surely introduce Ida beautifully, as it deserves.
Do you really like Ida?
I've never lived on Ida. My memories of it pull from fiction. Even the homecomers most eager to find Ida are merely searching for a fantasy of it. Ida is, well, at best, a vague symbol of nostalgia.
Just what are you trying to say?
As someone who was really there, the Ida you speak of is precisely the Ida the Kylians envision. And now, I need an Ida that will charm and captivate all those Kylians. One that can shake their trust in Anchor Infinity.
Are you asking me to lie?
Is Ida really that bad?
Ida's not perfect. There's no such thing, after all. And yet you expect the Kylian people to envision it that way. But what happens when they really return to Ida?
But deep down, compared to the resource-scarce, astral hive-infested Kylo, Ida is a paradise, isn't it?
That's fair.
Then just talk about its better parts. That should be simple enough. You don't have to lie, just selectively tell the truth.
What do you think that would accomplish?
I think the worst outcome of this negotiation would be having to take over a Kylo plunged into chaos after Anchor Infinity's fall. I can force Anchor Infinity's executives to sign whatever contracts I want, use Lana to control every spaceship and machine. But I can't control the minds of the populace. There are far too many unknowns in the new Project Arc. I can't allow the Kylian people to pin their hopes on planet Noah. If this all goes awry, I can only assume the Order's destruction. With that as our alternative, well, I'd rather all Kylians be homecomers.
Is this the only way?
Would you really rather watch Kylo descend into chaos than slightly compromise your conscience? Would you really do that to the Kylians?
I certainly don't want that, and neither would Hykros. But out of curiosity, how far against your conscience are you willing to go for this bargain?
If I were in your position, I wouldn't strain my conscience over something so minor. It's the rational choice that best serves public interest. But if you were in my shoes...
Anchor Infinities tried to assassinate you?
Don't take that tone with me. You make it sound like I'm some weakling who I actively chose to leave my family's sanctuary. It was only by...
Drown? That's a far cry from the Hope Fleet's legendary reputation, isn't it?
I've revitalized the Hope Fleet once ravaged by Anchor Infinity. I was born to be its commander. Only I can complete Project Astralis, fulfilling the hopes of so many. No one, not even Anchor Infinity, can stand in my way. The stars will ultimately be my badge of honor.
That's some terrifying strength you've got.
I appreciate the compliment. Now it's your turn to take the stage, Ida Visitor.
Esteemed diplomatic representative, what is your primary concern in these negotiations?
Kylo and Ida have had no contact for half a century. We need to resume all economic, cultural, and personnel exchanges. But before all that, we need to clarify the relationship between Kylo and Ida. 50 years ago, Kylo was a continent of Ida, governed by the Norns Federation. And now, in the fallout of the disaster, Ida is led by Hykros scientists, while Kylo is managed by Anchor Infinity.
That's true. Things have certainly changed. We need to redefine our relationship.
Do we really? Despite my well-trodden spaceship crash and wrongful imprisonment, I can't help but feel quite a bit fortunate. Because during that whole situation, I met so many Kylians who spoke the same language as me, who shared so many of my perspectives. I believe that there are more similarities than differences between the Idans and Kylians. We all have our goals and grievances, right? Aren't we all just survivors of the exact same disaster? We're all honoring our dead, all struggling to persevere, and all, ultimately, there's no use fumbling for what-ifs. The fact is, both Kylians and Idans are survivors. I can't just continue to highlight our differences when we're so fundamentally united.
This is only our first negotiation. 50 years is a long time, after all. We have a myriad of issues to discuss, so it's best to start slowly. But most importantly here is the relationship between Kylo and Ida. What kind of interactions will we have in the future? And how will those shape our communication?
Relationships are mutual. If the Kylians are willing to maintain a friendly and open attitude, so too are the Idans.
Your understanding is appreciated.
Thank you both for your responses. I hope today's negotiations will prove fruitful.
Diplomatic representative of Hykros. Welcome to Anchor Infinity HQ. I apologize, on all our behalf, for my previous abrupt departure, and, of course, for our inadequate hospitality.
You're Anchor Infinity's leader, as well as the overseer of so many Kylians. I understand that's quite the responsibility, Mr. Rafa.
These talks are of utmost importance, and Anchor Infinity values your time. However, we find no reason for the Hope Fleet, General Veronica, to participate, especially given her health. General, you should leave. Rest. Recover.
There's no need for your concern, Mr. Rafa. I'm perfectly fine. As for my presence here, it is at the invitation of the diplomatic representative.
General Veronica has been nothing but polite and respectful during my time here. I have faith her Hope Fleet will serve as a fair mediator for the discussions.
Authorization transfer at Anchor Infinity HQ has been completed. Void Piercer has assumed control.
I have come to Kylo on Hykros' behalf. On one hand, I wish to discuss our continued friendship. But on the other, there are some concerns I need to address.
No need for subtlety. I know very well that Hykros wishes to build a tower of fantasy in Kylo. But this is Kylo. We've long since burned our bridges with Ida. You've been in Kylo long enough, Representative, to know that we've separated like this because of that explosion. To us, Omnium represents only disaster and death. None of our Kylians were spared from that chaos. Not those on the ground, nor those in the station.
Void Piercer has successfully assumed control of the Brighton public sector.
When I first arrived in Kylo, I really believed that. The Kylians, fearing Omnium, were forced to rapidly develop Ore-Zero and adapt to using Zeronium. Shirley previously used the Space Rift to bring a piece of Ore-Zero back to Hykros. Upon their examination, they found that Omnium and Zeronium are one and the same. My spaceship can operate just as well on Zeronium. Isn't that proof enough, Mr. Rafa? Don't try to deny it.
Shirley. Oh, speaking of Shirley, she's quite a bit tougher than General Veronica. Helix Bio has made all sorts of attempts to take her machinery apart.
You dismantled Shirley?
Don't be angry, Representative. This is all for her treatment. Her strong reactions to the turbulence have been suspected to be a precursor to Starstone Syndrome. However, your technology far surpasses Helix Bio's capabilities. What an amazing combination of mind and machine she is. In the end, they had no choice but to settle for the brain interface. Miss Shirley is a distinguished guest all the way from Hykros. We need to do everything we can to heal her, yes? You wouldn't want your assistant to die in Kylo, would you?
If anything happens to Shirley, I won't forgive you. Understand?
Rest assured, Representative. Shirley won't be harmed. Helix Bio's healing methods are extremely advanced. Even my health depends on them. Lana's latest model is developed by Helix Bio Inc. Their unique biotechnologies have made her body almost indistinguishable from that of a human.
Keep talking. We need just a little more time. It's only the droid access left now.
Would you say you're a fan of Lana? Negotiations just began, and Shirley is still in Helix Bio's hands. This isn't what we agreed on.
Per the plan, if Rafa refuses to hand over Lana's root access peacefully, we'll have to crack down. We need to secure a clean resolution within 3 hours, remember? This is exactly in line with our plan.
How can you say that? I've only just started probing into his relationship with Lana.
Don't you hear yourself? Lana is to Rafa what Shirley is to you. And Shirley is above all else to you. You wouldn't sacrifice her for anything. That renders the negotiations completely pointless. Rafa would never willingly hand over Lana's server key. It seems Rafa and I know you better than you know yourself. Per the plan, if the negotiations fail, we should save as much time as possible. My method is the most time efficient. 3 hours and 5 minutes gone. And counting. I'm certain that counterattacks are well underway. How much longer do you insist upon wasting our time?
Don't worry. I've already made sure Shirley's safe. What Rafa said earlier was just to get under your skin. He was trying to steer the negotiation his way.
General Veronica, although this Rafa is a machine puppet, it isn't necessarily being remotely piloted. I believe it's very likely Rafa himself.
You knew about the puppeteering?
No, I didn't know. But there have always been these subtle, unnatural things about Rafa. Instinctually, something was off about him, but I just couldn't decipher what. For instance, there have been 4 attempts on his life. Though the assassins were direct and he sustained life-threatening injuries on 2 occasions, he always manages to recover within a week.
So he's just a brain in a machine?
He seeks to obtain Shirley's secrets about the Angel of Clemency, likely as a guide to further merging human consciousness with machinery.
Is his consciousness intact? Did we just destroy Lana's key with those bullets? And by the way, did you just find something?
It's the chip from that puppet. It was buried in his head. With how specialized its design is, I doubt ordinary terminals can read it.
The chip is merely a vessel for his consciousness. Lana has ensured his true data source has escaped to an alternate location. That's where Lana's server must be hidden.
Minister Nanto, how many people heard those gunshots just now?
I had Droid Tom submit a fault report. Anyone who heard the gunshot will assume it was just a circuit failure.
Well handled. The press conference will proceed as scheduled in 3 hours, with both the diplomatic representative and I in attendance. As planned, I'm counting on you to handle everything outside this—
I'll ensure the plan is executed smoothly. Even if a few reckless people or troops try to interfere, it won't amount to anything. Diplomatic representative, the Brighton zone is currently under Void Piercer's control. Have you found any leads on Bagus and Shirley?
Nem's got a lot on her plate right now. Why not take this opportunity to play to your strengths and interrogate Helix Bio's executives?
Thank you for the suggestion. I expect to hear of your successes at the press conference.
Let's go.
There. He should have escaped that way. I think Nem's guiding us with these purple lights. She must not be able to reach us.
Get some useful info first.
The real Rafa was frozen? He's really just a digitized consciousness? After Baggis's stasis pod was damaged, Aglaia fought desperately to save him. But in the end, she couldn't change the fate of her only remaining friend. The pod's missing? Did Nanto know? Anchor Infinity has to be responsible. It looks like a disappearance on the surface, but it's really a carefully concealed kidnapping. Is this about my community service at Brighton Prison? What diverse research Helix Bio has. I wonder if these plants are from planet Noah? This is the research aimed at extending Rafa's life, right? This argues that uploading doesn't negate the physical body's importance. Consciousness needs a vessel, and if that's damaged, so is these droids. So these droids are just for show.
So, it was here all along.
Wait, are these spare parts for Rafa?
What are you so surprised about? He's a droid. Aren't his so-called treatment and health checks just mechanical upkeep?
This is just too creepy.
Best to think of them as toys if you're that frightened by them. We need to find the control device for the cryo chamber as quickly as possible.
This looks like the control panel for the cryogenic chamber. It's definitely got Rafa's name on it. Should we cut the power?
No, this room is far too secluded. If we cut the power, the emergency power supply will activate. It could even trigger the alarm system. We need a plan that won't trigger the security, and...
The chip! I got this from the cyborg Rafa, and it looks like it fits the slot on this controller.
Give it a go.
Greetings, Master. Welcome to the Lana Consciousness Management System. Please select a function. Please unlock this feature using your iris or password.
I forgot my password.
No worries. I'll connect you to the Helix Bio customer service hotline right away. Due to the high volume of Lana orders, the customer service hotline currently has a queue.
Forget it.
Sure. Is there anything else?
No, thank you.
You're welcome. Have a one.
Did you just thank her?
I'm natural. Don't forget, you took out Rafa with a single shot. Let's go with the quickest option. Even if we trigger the alarm, with Nem and our strength combined...
Huh. That puppet was so lifelike that no one even noticed. It must have taken...
So, you want to add it to your collection?
Use your brain. Anchor Infinity is swarming with advanced permission systems that unlock via iris. In other words, that machine puppet definitely has artificial irises. Since Rafa's got so many duplicate bodies, unlocking the iris lock will be a cinch, won't it?
Nah.
It's unlocked.
Consciousness repair and editing system has been activated.
The researchers at Helix Bio Inc. have really been slaving away here. Do you think we can find Lana's server key and address in this consciousness chip?
From what I understand about consciousness, human memory isn't like a search engine. You can't just browse through it at will. Nem can only hold out for so long. If Lana returns to the Brighton Zone, we'll lose all droid control.
Understood. First come the server address and the key. We'll handle the rest later. Let's install the consciousness chip. It'll make conversation easier.
Huh? Veronica? And that darn Aiden! How dare you shoot me? Wait, you actually found this place?
Don't you realize you look ridiculous right now?
Lana, you're with the Void Piercer, aren't you? No one but a dimensional quantum supercomputer could have done all this.
You know about the Void Piercer? So Bagus really is your accomplice.
It's impossible. With the space-time turbulence blocking the way, the Void Piercer simply shouldn't be able to locate Kylo. I clearly closed the passage.
I owe you one. You connected Shirley to Kylo's network, and no matter where Shirley is, Nem can always find her.
Dimensional computers are remarkable. They're always just beyond my expectations. Is it Shirley's connection with the Void Piercer that has made her consciousness so hard to crack? I'm completely at your mercy. I can't fight back, after all. But I'm curious. What will you do now? Nanto just found Bagus's consciousness. Shirley helped him locate Helix Bio's consciousness warehouse. Aren't you worried he might hide Bagus somewhere you can't find?
You slipped up when you said Void Piercer. Now I know. Even if Aglaia used the alias Bagus, she couldn't be the Bagus I'm looking for. You can't possibly want to destroy a consciousness that contains half the source code. I know for a fact that even with Lana's abilities, you can't separate the code from Bagus's consciousness.
You fell for it. Aglaia is Bagus. Only she could fool Gestos and plant the Gungnir virus in you. She knew you were looking for her, so she deliberately sought help from Nanto to throw you off the scent. Why else would she suddenly contact Nanto now, after so many years?
The more you talk, the more I think it's you who's really Bagus. But I'm curious about one thing. How could you both manage your duties in Kylo and have a doppelganger in the network?
You've been deceived by Bagus and Nanto. I was just...
Nanto once said he doesn't believe Aglaia would hurt a fly. Krog also mentioned that Aglaia's fatal flaw is her kind heart. You tell me, how did that Aglaia become Bagus?
Veronica, isn't this just an issue of cosmic exploration? You know I'll support you in whatever you want.
I thought you'd forgotten me. But I think you were right before. With Kylo's current resources, we can't sustain a grand plan like Astralis. But Ida can. The Hykros we're negotiating with is comprised entirely of scientists. Their resources and expertise will be far more helpful to Project Astralis. I don't care about Bagus. That's between you and Nanto. I'm only concerned about Lana. This is her server, isn't it? Hand over the root access key.
I thought you were just after me. I didn't expect you to actually try to seize Lana.
Oh, cut the crap. Keep this up and I'll get Helix Bio to scour your brain for the key. Or maybe I'll let Void Piercer have a go.
Look around. Do you still see me as an inferior being? I'm purely digital, fully evolved. I do not fear the death you speak of. You can't even get close to killing me. To you, the end of the physical form is death. But I have long since transcended my decaying body. To a lowly being like you, trapped in flesh, I am closer to a spirit than a man. Humans cannot kill spirits. Lana does not belong to anyone. Lana is a product of the Master, Authorizer, the Bagus that you've been looking for. They've been by your side all along, but you're too much of a fool.
How loud.
You want Kylo. You want to go home. You want to explore. You want it all. Go then. Do as you will. I grant you the freedom you crave. Caught in the tide of humanity's endlessly repeating history, you short-sighted humans are doomed to be trapped in a tragic cycle. In the end, you march towards self-destruction, culled by the very freedom you fought so hard to attain. You have already been abandoned by the Master. You are not worthy of evolution. On the Master's behalf, I must cast you aside.
Consciousness deletion is irreversible. Are you sure you want to delete all current consciousness data sources?
What?
Okay. Consciousness deletion has been initiated. System upgrade complete. This system will cease providing services effective immediately. We wish you well. Goodbye.
Did he just commit suicide? With Lana? No. Lana just said something about an upgrade. Could it be?
What happened?
Nem, what are you doing here all of a sudden?
Lana suddenly vanished. Machinery across several mines and spaceships dangerously malfunctioned, so I had to take over.
Rafa's a servant of God. They're all insane. Looks like Rafa's consciousness committed suicide. And as for Lana, she said the system update had completed, then stopped responding.
Don't worry. If Bagus is really helping Lana out with this upgrade, he hasn't finished yet. Otherwise, I would have detected it.
I've got some spare parts for Rafa's machine puppets here. Do you think you could control them?
What do you want to do?
Of course.
Come on. Let's resurrect Rafa.
Ugh. If only Helix Bio didn't make these machines look so much like real people.
This Helix biotechnology is pretty impressive.
Can't you imitate his voice?
I'll try it. Does this sound about right?
The imitated voice is exactly the same, but the tone is completely different. It's a bit uncanny.
Understood, diplomatic representative. What happens now?
You forgot about your purple eyes.
Anything else?
All right. When you go out as Rafa, announce that you're retiring from Age, and that everything will be entrusted to me and Nanto.
You don't have the authority to order me around.
This is our best option right now. We need her to stabilize Kylo. Of course, we need to worry about Lana's disappearance later, but we can't afford any more chaos at present.
Ugh, I'd really rather not go.
Please, cooperate for just a little bit more. When the time is right, you can cough a bit and say you're gravely ill. Then you won't have to appear as Rafa anymore.
Fine. But I'm only going because you asked.
Yes! You're the best, Nem! Shirley will praise you for this for sure.
I don't want any praise.
You've got quite the knack for charming kids,
Who are you calling a child?
The diplomatic representative, of course.
You!
Rafa?
Don't get it wrong. This is just Void Piercer disguised as Rafa. We found mechanical parts of a machine puppet, so we had Void Piercer temporarily pose as Rafa. Convenient, isn't it?
So, have you already obtained Lana's route? Do you really believe Rafa would commit suicide? That Lana would just disappear? When Lana said the upgrade was complete, I couldn't help but think there's something more to—
We're well aware of these concerns. Currently, there are many urgent matters to handle. We'll have to revisit these issues once we get through today's mess.
I understand. Then, we need to talk about Kylo's future. Aglaya's consciousness has been restored, and I've confirmed with her that she's never met you. So she's not the person you're looking for.
She's awake? Where is she? Could her Starstone syndrome be cured?
She was frozen for too long. Her body is extremely weak. I'm sorry, but she can't appear for now. I appreciate your concern. I'll make sure to relay it to her. What I'm about to say represents the position of Aglaya, my aunt, and the legal heir of Apex. The Apex businesses that Anchor Infinity seized must be returned to Apex.
Ore Zero Mining, RoboCore Inc., and Voyage Innovations are all closely tied to Project Astralis. The Hope Fleet will assume full control, but it will temporarily remain under the Anchor Infinity in name only. Astral Harvest, Helix Bio Inc., Echo, and others will all be handed back to Apex. I believe Helix Bio's research will help in treating Miss Aglaya.
RoboCore Inc. used to be a subsidiary of Apex, and played a crucial role in my aunt's work developing Lana. I won't just give it up like that. Also, the director Johannes has already agreed to join Apex.
RoboCore Inc. supplies Lana with the servers and controls the spaceship's navigation system, so it can't be—
I also think we should wait for Aglaya's recovery. She'll certainly have a time. Right now, there are 3 critical issues we should address. First, we need an explanation for Rafa's exit. Second, we must confirm that Kylo will reopen the passage and establish state. Finally, we have to halt the new Project Ark that Rafa announced. This is a matter of—
Aren't you coveting Kylo's space rift technology anymore?
That's not the most important mission to me right now. Once the passage reopens, I'll discuss it with my superior again. After all,
It seems Mr. Nanto has no objections.
I am Rafa Garcia, President of Anchor Infinity. Today, I hereby officially announce that, due to health concerns, from today on, I entrust Anchor Infinity to Nanto and Veronica. My body can't hold on any longer.
You still haven't announced the negotiation results. The 3 points we just discussed.
I'm done talking.
Mr. Rafa is indeed bedridden due to his old age. As such, I will report the outcome of the negotiations on his behalf. The diplomatic representative demonstrated remarkable sincerity during the negotiations, persuading Anchor Infinity to work with Ida to establish a secure, stable, and high-speed communication channel. In the near future, Idans and Kylians will be free to travel between 2 zones. We will maintain friendly, equal relations with the interests of both peoples coming first. Due to the significant resources required for establishing this passage, we must pause the immigration applications for the new Project Ark. However, the Ida will support the construction of Kylo, backing our future efforts to explore and transform broader habitats. The diplomatic representative has promised this.
Huh? Me? Did I say that? Wait, he's taken advantage of the chaos. I can't believe him. Hey, hold on.
Please hold on. Mr. Nanto did indeed forget one thing. Ida will also fund the Hope Fleet's largest exploratory expedition, Project Astralis. I believe everyone here has heard of Project Astralis. After all, I've been in the news 10 times recently, and 9 of those mentions were related to it. In the past, Many believed the Hope Fleet acted recklessly, and that the project was merely squandering Kylo's precious resources and
But we still have a second round of negotiations, which will cover Ida's specific funding plans for Kylo and the construction plans for the new Tower of Fantasy. A new Iden diplomatic representative delegation is about to arrive in Kylo to commence broader negotiations.
What?
Another delegation?
That concludes today's press conference. Thank you, everyone.
Nice save, Nem. If I really promise the Kylians so many resources and can't deliver, Plotty, no, Papa definitely won't let me off the hook.
At last, I get to see Kylo in person. Hello, I am Plotty, an authorizer of Hykros. Authorizer, thank you for all your hard work. I'll handle what comes next. You can rest now.
I thought Nem was only bluffing back then, but you've actually shown up.
It's all thanks to Void Piercer. After she took control of all the equipment in Kylo, she immediately restarted the space rift and told me to come assist.
That request for a second round of negotiations just now, it came from you?
Yes, the authorizer departed in too much haste and is not a professional diplomat, so they may not have fully understood their responsibilities.
You cunning Idens. You've outwitted us.
Given Kylo's situation, even if Ida is in poor shape, what we're about to do should rightly be called assistance. It's not a good place to talk. Let's head inside.
Shirley, how are you? Are you feeling all right? I'm so sorry. I shouldn't have let you go through the space rift instead of me. I also shouldn't have... Trust me, I won't let anything like this happen again. I promise I'll protect you from now on.
I believe you. Nem told me everything you've been through. You did everything you could. You're carrying so many burdens. It's not your fault. Why don't you explain to me how Nem became like this first?
Do you recognize her?
It was Veronica's idea.
So, was it really Plotty who made you say all that just now?
Mm-hmm.
You would listen to her?
You want to hear what they're saying? Now that Lana's gone, this place is all mine.
You're changing the subject? Honestly, I do want to hear it. Go ahead.
Surrender the space rift technology and cooperate with us to construct the Tower of Fantasy. Those are the only demands Hykros has.
So you want us to reenact the disaster from 50 years ago? The Kylians aren't short on intelligence. We're just short on resources.
I figured that would be your biggest concern. You can rest easy. That issue has already been resolved.
Are you saying Hykros of Ida can't even build a large-scale space rift, yet you somehow claim to have a solution to the technological problem that shattered Ida 50 years ago?
I've heard your blunt retorts. You're wrong about one thing. We've determined the disaster 50 years ago was caused by human error, not a technological problem. You're all on this space station. So you should know that 50 years ago, humanity had no choice but to launch a global retracement to deal with the temporal anomaly.
Then you failed, imposing a mass euthanasia on all of Ida. Truly, the dead are not affected by temporal anomalies.
The origin resonance failure 50 years ago was caused by humanity's insufficient preparations. Simply put, it was initiated under a state of emergency and forced into action before it was ready. But this time, our objective is to execute a perfect global retracement.
How do you achieve perfection?
Because this time, we have the perfect authorizer.
How does Plotty know I'm the perfect authorizer now?
To go all out to rescue you, but Plotty wanted to keep observing the situation and your reactions. I had to emphasize how important you are.
What else did you say?
She threatened me, saying that if I didn't reveal everything I knew, she'd abandon the rescue mission.
You fell for her threats?
The one threatening me was Papa. You can't reason with a lunatic. I've run the numbers. There's a 90% chance Papa will make whatever choice she wants to, and the other 10% is because of Plotty's presence.
So Plotty knows about it?
Yes, but she's very rational. She didn't tell anyone.
Even if everything you said was true, building the Tower of Fantasy, connecting with Ida, and ultimately allowing Kylians to return home. Kylo is not the same as Vera. At that time, there'll be no Kylo.
We may have different perspectives. That's fine. There's still no evidence. Once I prove it, we can resume negotiations.
What exactly are you trying to prove?
Please, both of you, follow what was said at the press conference and make every effort to construct stable channels. preferably using large-scale space rift technology, as we will be dispatching research personnel to conduct investigations.
What exactly are you planning to research?
As far as I know, you, as commander of the Hope Fleet, have been eager to launch major long-range expeditions. But that's difficult in Kylo. There's too much space-time turbulence. Hykros is not skilled in space rift technology, but for certain reasons we have researched something similar to space-time turbulence, the abyss flow. If our researchers can develop a more accurate space-time turbulence detection device here, I believe it will greatly assist your navigation.
Can you really pull this off?
Absolutely. But we'd need to work closely with Kylo's researchers. Knowledge only progresses through collaboration. Moreover, to learn as much as possible about space-time turbulence, it would be best to conduct research across different corners of Kylo's space. We may also need to ask Kylian Hykros to construct several large-scale space rifts.
We can only allow limited sharing of research results. Key research milestones must be completed independently by the researchers from Kylo.
The Space Rift Technology team currently belongs to Apex, and Apex will assign a representative to provide detailed terms of cooperation. We can discuss this further at our next negotiation. My aunt still needs me to look after her, so I must take my leave.
He went to see Aglaia. Should we go see her too?
Us? Probably not. She doesn't know us. To her, we probably look more like enemies right now.
Well, since Plotty's here, let's relax a bit and dump our burdens on her.
You noticed I'm feeling uneasy?
Did my attempt to comfort you?
Lana's words. Upgrade.
I've searched all of Kylo, but Lana has vanished completely. For now, we can leave everything to Plotty. We won't be able to—
I want to have a chat with